So first, this word capacitance. Capacitance is related to the word capacity. So capacitance of a conductor is its capacity to store electric charge. If I want to define capacitance, just like resistance, there is this word capacitance. So capacitance is this ability to store electric charge. Let me define it first. Capacitance of a conductor is a measure of its ability to store charges. So if we have a conductor, take a conductor and you want to store charges on it. So what you can do, you can start giving it a potential. We can do it in various ways. For example, we have in electrostatics, we can take two plates or two bodies and connect them to a battery. When you do that, the positive charges, they will come on this surface, and the negative charges, they will come on this surface. This is just another example of a body which can store charges. So here we have two metallic bodies, and the battery, what it does, it transfers the charge. So here what does battery did? What did battery do? Battery just transferred the charge from this plate or this body 1 to this body 2. One thing you must always remember, battery does not produce charge. It transfers the charge. That's all it can do. It cannot produce charge. So if we define capacitance, capacitance of a conductor is a measure of its ability to store charge. Now you know, the more potential you apply to the system, the stronger battery you have, the more charges it can store. Let us say here, there is a deficiency of charge Q. If there is a deficiency of charge Q, then we write charge is minus Q, and that extra charge is stored over here. So you can say the charge stored was directly proportional to the potential applied. Charge stored was directly proportional to the potential applied. If you remove the proportionality sign, you have a constant. You can write it as C, and C here is known as capacitance. C here is known as capacitance. For the students who have joined later, we are studying capacitance. We are basically studying the how electrostatic energy can be stored. So we are going to study about devices, that is an application of electrostatics, how to store electric charges or how to store electrostatic energy. For this, we have created a system. We have taken, this is just one example. We have taken two bodies and we have connected them to a battery, and one of them is negatively charged. Because of what does battery does? Battery transfers the charges from the negative plate to the positive plate, from plate 1 or body 1 to body 2. And to measure this ability, we know that the more the charge, the more is the potential. The more is the potential you apply, the more will be the charge stored on this system. From here, we remove the proportionality. Q is equal to CV. So capacitance is Q by V, where C is called capacitance. So capacitance is measured in farad. If I write farad, 1 farad is equal to unit of charge is coulomb. So 1 coulomb, and unit of voltage is volt. 1 coulomb per volt. Right, like this, Farad is written with F, Coulomb with C, volt with V to the power minus, volt with V. So 1 Farad is 1 Coulomb per volt. 1 Farad is quite a big amount of capacitance. So normally we use a millifarad, microfarad, nanofarad, and picofarad. Nano is N means nano, that is 10 raised to minus 9. Pico is 10 raised to minus 12. Micro is 10 raised to minus 6. And milli is 10 raised to minus 3. After defining this relation, C is equal to Q upon V. C is equal to Q upon V. We can write a new definition for capacitance. Earlier, we wrote capacitance as the ability of a conductor is a measure of its ability to store charges. Capacitance of a conductor is a measure of its ability to store charges. Here we can write a new definition. The capacitance of a conductor is the ratio of the charge given to it divided by the increase in potential. I'll write this definition. Capacitance of a conductor is the ratio of the charge given to it, given to it to the increase in potential. Of the conductor. This is another definition for capacitance. So what does capacitance measure? It is the ability of a conductor to store charges. Now, once we have defined this quantity capacitor, that is ability to store charges, defined by the charge divided by potential, we can take different systems and find capacitance of those systems. So first system that I will take is the capacitance of a spherical conductor. Capacitance of a spherical conductor, and I will take an isolated spherical conductor. Isolated means there are no other conductors in the vicinity. Capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. The concept is very simple. Find the charge, find the potential due to that charge, and just divide the charge by the potential. That is all we are going to do. So suppose we have a spherical conductor, and you can either take a spherical shell or a spherical volume, means the whole conductor is filled or it is empty. It doesn't matter. Because it is a conductor, you know that all the charge will come on the surface. For a conductor, all the charge will come on the surface. Why does this happen? Because charges want to occupy maximum distance between them. Because they're applying forces over each other. So charges want to apply wants to have maximum distance between each other. And in a conductor, to occupy that to occupy that condition, they must hold the position on the surface. Hold the position on the surface. Because this is a conductor, the charges will move up to the surface. And let me give this a radius of A. So we know that the potential on surface of conductor or potential of conductor, that will be Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught A. And charge on conductor, is Q. So my capacitance will be just Q by V. V is Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught A. This will go in the numerator, that will be 4 pi epsilon naught A. So this is the capacitance of a isolated spherical conductor. This is the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. This value, if you remember, it will be helpful for you in exams. 4 pi epsilon naught into the radius. We know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Let's do a simple numerical based on this. I hope people who are noting have noted it down. Apurav, have you noted it?
Yes.
Okay. So find the capacitance of a copper sphere of radius 9 millimeter. So I'll just give you the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is 9 into 10 to the power 9. Solve this and tell me the answer. The formula is this: 4 pi epsilon naught A. Nupur, have you got the answer?
No, sir.
Rishit?
10 raised to minus 12.
10 raised to minus 12.
12.
Okay. That seems correct. Apura, what is your answer?
That same 10 raised to minus 12.
Okay. And Nihar is getting a different answer. See, I have given the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So, of course, 4 pi epsilon naught would be 1 divided by 9 to 10 raised to 9. And this is SI unit. So, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught would be 9 into 10 raised to 9. And the radius is 9 millimeter. That is, by converting to SI unit, 9 to 10 raised to minus 3. Then I can write my charge per volt, coulomb per volt, that is the unit. So that is 10 raised to minus 12. The unit will be farad. So I can write this as 1 picofarad. Nihar, you understood how we solved it?
Yes, sir. I actually made a silly mistake in the first step.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this radius of 9 millimeter, and you're getting a capacitance of 1 picofarad. 1 picofarad. And then I'll ask another question. What should be the what should be the radius of an aluminum sphere if we want its capacitance to be 1 farad. Solve this, everyone. Once you're done, you have to raise hands. Find the radius of aluminum sphere whose capacitance is 1 farad. Nihar, this time I want an answer from you. I hope you don't make a mistake this time. What's the answer, Nihar?
It should be 1, right?
It should be 1 what?
It should be 1, right?
1 what? 1 meter, 1 kilometer, 1 light
No,
year?
no,
Mhm.
no. It should be 1 meter, right?
No. That's wrong. Your capacitance is given as 1 farad. You have to find the radius. Nupur, what's your answer?
9 into 10 raised to 9 mm.
9 into 10 raised to 9 unit is? Meter?
Mm.
No, see, it will be the SI unit only. Okay, it will be SI unit because you must have solved like this. A is equal to C divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Now capacitance, this C is 1 farad and 4 pi epsilon naught has 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. So everything is in SI unit. So you'll get the answer in SI unit. That is 9 into 10 raised to 9 meter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Apurav and Rishit, you got the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, to get 1 farad, we need this much radius. This is a very high value. This goes in kilometers. It's beyond kilometer. So if you want to write it in kilometers, that would be 9 into 10 raised to 6 kilometer. Right? That is as big as a country itself. So this big capacitance is not possible just by using a simple metallic sphere. Of course, we have other ways to increase the capacitance of a capacitor, but see, mostly if you have you have picofarad or microfarad, nanofarad. They are more common examples of a capacitor. So that is the basic idea. We cannot have huge capacitors. If you can design very huge capacitors, then your problem of storing electricity will be solved. But we cannot do that. We cannot have very big capacitors. So the application of capacitor we'll be studying later. It was limited earlier to just to give a huge amount of charge in a very small amount of time. What does a battery do? A battery produces consistent amount of charge per unit time. But a capacitor, when you see, as we have designed here, if you again connect it, suppose you have a bulb or an LED or a tube light. So if you connect it and close the switch, a large amount of current can pass through it. So the purpose of capacitor was to give a large amount of charge in very short amount of time, unlike the battery. We'll be studying application later. So this was the capacitance of a capacitor and or capacitance of a conductor. Next mini topic that we're going to study is potential energy of a charged conductor. If something is storing charge, then it is also storing potential energy, because we are bringing charge from different area at a local point and making a system. See, I'll be repeating some of the concepts. So make sure that you focus on the concept. Once you learn the concepts, you can think of, whenever a new question comes, you can think of it on your own. So see here, if there is any system, and let us see, I'll take that another example again, to randomly shaped conductor, and you're trying to apply potential V or EMF E, and let us say potential difference between plate 1 and 2 is V. What is V? V is the potential difference. And presently, the charge stored is Q. Here, minus Q has been taken from here, and plus Q has been stored on it. At this instant, at this moment, charge Q is stored. Okay. And what somehow, let me not use a battery here. You can use any other thing also. Any other way to transfer charge from here to here. So somehow you're transferring charge from first conductor 1 to conductor 2. So you have to transfer charge from conductor 1 to conductor 2. And the potential difference between them, that is given as V. V is potential difference between conductors at this instant. Yes, it can change. Potential can change. Why? Because it depends on the charge and capacitance. But this is a system, so capacitance will remain constant. For the system, for a system, capacitance remains constant. Can anybody reply me why the capacitance remains constant? For a system, capacitance remains constant. For a conductor, capacitance remains constant. You can get a hint from here. See, the capacitance of a spherical capacitor was 4 pi epsilon naught A. So it does not depend on the charge. It does not depend on the potential. Capacitance only depends on the radius. And even for a random arrangement of a conductor, like if a conductor is like this, so capacitance will only depend on the physical measurements of the conductors and how they are placed. It will not depend on the charge and the potential. So if I have created a system, the capacitance remains constant. The capacitance remains constant. That would be given. Okay, unless you change the system somehow, you increase the gap between them or fill it by a dielectric material, the capacitance would not change. So potential difference between the conductor is at this instant, but capacitance will always remains the same. So V can change, V can change, even charge can change, but capacitance will not change. Now, if you want to find work done, you want to find work done in bringing charge dq, as you're taking this very small charge dq from one to two. But in bringing charge dq from 1 to 2. So work done will be the charge into the potential difference. Charge transferred is dq and potential difference is v. So we can write dw is v dq, and potential can be written as in terms of the charge, that is q by the capacitance. Just remember the formula is q is equal to cv. So v is equal to q by c. If I want to find the total work done, I'll just integrate this. See, because the potential and charge both were varying, I have brought this whole right-hand side into single variable, that is in terms of charge, and capacitance is a constant. So 1 by c integration of q dq. And charge, let us say the charge is stored from 0 to capital Q. Initially the charge was 0 and final charge is Q. So I'll write charge is increased. Charge is increased from 0 to capital Q. We do the integration. Integration of x dx is x square by 2. So this will be q square by 2. Put the upper and lower limits. And you will get the work done will be q square by 2c. Work done, but if you are moving the charge from here to here, the positive charge doesn't want to store more positive charge. If a conductor already has a positive charge, it doesn't want to store more positive charge. That means if you're taking a very small charge dq here, if you're taking a small charge dq here and bringing it from here to here, the positive charge does not want it to happen because it will repel the positive charge, this dq. So that's why you are doing work on the system. When you are doing work on the system, you are increasing its potential energy. So all the work that you are doing will be stored as potential energy. So work done is stored as potential energy. So that's how the potential energy becomes q square by 2c. Q square by 2c. I can put the value of q is equal to cv here, and this will give me another formula, that is half cv square. And cv is equal to q, so you can also write it like this, q into v by 2. I recommend you to use you to remember one formula, and the rest you can figure it out by just knowing that q is equal to cv. So because bringing the charge from the negative plate to the positive plate is requiring work. So when you transfer such dqs and increase the charge on the positive plate from 0 to plus q, you're basically doing a lot of work. That work you do is stored as a potential energy. That work you do is stored as a potential energy. And the value of that potential energy is q square by 2c, half cv square, or qv by 2. In whatever terms you want to remember, that's fine. Any questions?
Sir, I didn't understood why work.
Why work is done? See, we have two conductors here. The question is why the work is done. Is that your question?
No, my question was how come work done is stored as potential energy?
How come work done is stored as potential energy? Acha, see, potential energy, if I defined, is the energy stored in the configuration of the system. Okay, this is something from 11th standard. Potential energy is energy stored due to configuration of a system. Configuration of a system. A very simple example. If yes, अगर ये surface of earth है और यहाँ पे एक block रखा है, then first scenario, and in the second scenario what you have done, you have taken this block, इस block को h height से ऊपर कर दिया, then यहाँ पे you know that you have done work on the system. mass को ऊपर उठाने में there was some work. Okay, and नीचे mg force लग रहा था, and in the upper direction the force was F, that is force applied by me. Force applied by me should be approximately equal to mg. So work done by me was my force into the displacement, that is height h. So work done by me is mgh. So मैंने mgh वर्क किया इस सिस्टम में, and mgh अब ये वर्क कहाँ गया, that is stored as a potential energy. Means अगर मैं इस ब्लॉक को ड्रॉप करता हूं, then that potential energy will get converted into kinetic energy. And this is why we call the potential energy of the mass is mgh. Means जो भी मैंने वर्क किया था वो एज ए एनर्जी सिस्टम में स्टोर हो गया. अभी जब भी मैं इस मास को रिलीज करूंगा, यू नो दैट पोटेंशियल एनर्जी धीरे धीरे कम होता जाएगा. जैसे h कम होगा, लेट अस से हाफ हाइट पे आया, और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा काइनेटिक एनर्जी में. पोटेंशियल एनर्जी mgh will get converted into mgh by 2 will get converted into kinetic energy. So because मैंने वर्क किया इस पे, तो वो एनर्जी एज अ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी स्टोर हो गया, एंड देन रिलीज करने पे वो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी काइनेटिक एनर्जी में चेंज हो गया. तो यहाँ पे ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स वर्क कर रहा था. इन ए सिमिलर वे, अगर दो चार्जेस ऐसे रखे हुए हैं और दूसरा वाला चार्ज सपोज इंफिनिटी पे, सो मुझे इंफिनिटी से, लेट अस से ये इंफिनिटी पे है, मुझे जिस चार्ज को इंफिनिटी से पॉइंट बी पे लाने के लिए आई हैव टू डू सम वर्क. दिस इज q1, दिस इज q2. q2 को इंफिनिटी से b तक लाने के लिए आई हैव टू डू सम वर्क. वर्क मींस मुझे फोर्स अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा इस पे, और उससे डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगा. सो दिस इज वर्क डन बाय मी. वर्क डन बाय मी विल बी फोर्स इनटू द डिस्प्लेसमेंट. और फिर से वर्क क्या हो जाएगा, वो वर्क जो भी मैंने वर्क किया दैट विल बी स्टोर्ड एज अ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. सो ये इनिशियल कंडीशन था सिस्टम का. लेट मी राइट दिस एज A. और यहाँ पे दिस इज B. सो B का फर्स्ट में क्या था, ये इस चार्ज को इंफिनिटी से हम B तक लेकर आए. इन द सेकेंड सिनेरियो, अभी ये चार्ज जस्ट यहाँ पे पहुंच गया है, एंड दिस सिस्टम हैज अ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी जिसको हम लिखते हैं, जिसकी वैल्यू हमने कैलकुलेट की थी, दैट इज k q1 q2 बाय द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द चार्जेस, k q1 q2 बाय r. बट अगर इस सिस्टम को छोड़ दिया जाए, सो दे विल रिपेल ईच अदर. दे विल रिपेल ईच अदर. जब सिस्टम एक दूसरे को रिपेल करेगा तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी फिर से काइनेटिक एनर्जी पे कन्वर्ट होगा. लेट अस से ये वाला चार्ज फिक्स कर दिया, तो ये वेलोसिटी गेन कर रहा है. सो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी कम होती जाएगी और काइनेटिक एनर्जी बढ़ती जाएगी, बट सम ऑफ जो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी और काइनेटिक एनर्जी है दैट विल बी अ कांस्टेंट, बिकॉज वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम में टोटल एनर्जी शुड बी कांस्टेंट, एनर्जी इज कंजर्व्ड। ओके, सो ये दो सिनेरियोस थे, उसी से कंपेयर कर सकते हैं इस सिनेरियो में भी। इस सिनेरियो में हम क्या कर रहे हैं, एंड लेट अस से सिनेरियो सी, दो कंडक्टर्स है हमारे पास और एक पे ऑलरेडी थोड़ा सा चार्ज है, लेट अस से प्लस क्यू, और दूसरे पे ऑलरेडी थोड़ा सा चार्ज है माइनस क्यू। तो प्लस क्यू है मीन्स यहां से इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड रेडियली आउटवर्ड्स होगा, कंडक्टर के परपेंडिकुलर होता है। एंड व्हाट वुड हैपन इफ यू वांट टू इंक्रीज चार्ज ऑन क्यू, बॉडी कंडक्टर 1 पे यू वांट टू इंक्रीज द चार्ज, सो 2 से थोड़ा सा चार्ज निकालना पड़ेगा, लेट अस से डी क्यू अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज निकाला, एंड यू आर पुटिंग इट ऑन क्यू। सो बॉडी 1 नहीं चाहता कि उसके ऊपर और चार्ज आए, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी पॉजिटिव चार्जेस है, नहीं चाहता एज इन की यहाँ पे ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है, एंड इट विल ट्राई टू रिपेल डी क्यू। सो दैट्स व्हाई यू आर डूइंग वर्क, you are doing work by causing displacement of charge dq in this electric field region. So ऐसे करते करते you calculated कि जो work required होगा that is half cv square, और वो work as a potential energy store हो जाएगा। First case. Second case, वो energy use कैसे कर सकते हैं, यही दोनों कंडक्टर है लेटस से, इसके ऊपर प्लस क्यू चार्ज है, इसके ऊपर माइनस क्यू चार्ज है। अभी तो चार्ज का फ्लो नहीं हो सकता, बट इफ यू कनेक्टेड विथ अ वायर, इफ यू कनेक्टेड विथ अ वायर, देन प्लस क्यू इंस्टेंटली फ्लो कर जाएगा फ्रॉम कंडक्टर 1 टू कंडक्टर 2, एंड दैट एनर्जी विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी। जो कंडक्टर ने एनर्जी स्टोर की थी दैट विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी। So that is the meaning of potential energy store. मुझे प्लस क्यू दैट इज यहाँ पे चार्जेस अच्छे से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए जो एनर्जी लगी उसको बोलते हैं पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। इस केस में मुझे ये चार्ज इन्फिनिटी से यहाँ लाने में जो एनर्जी लगी, मतलब ये सिस्टम बनाने में जो एनर्जी लगी दैट वाज माय पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। ये सिस्टम बनाने में जो मुझे एनर्जी लगी दैट इज द पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। यहाँ पे मास को इस स्टेट से इस स्टेट में ले जाने में जो एनर्जी लगी दैट इज द पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। तो सिस्टम को चेंज करते हैं तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी में चेंज आता है, एंड अगर ऐसे चेंज किया कि वो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी स्टोर हो रही है, देन वी कैन अगेन कन्वर्ट इट टू अनदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ एनर्जी। Okay, tell me whether this is clear, Purav?
Yes, sir, this is clear.
Clear? Okay. So जब भी सिस्टम पे वर्क हो रहा हो तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी स्टोर हो रही होगी अगर हमारे फोर्सेस कंजर्वेटिव हैं तो। सो इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक इज अ कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स और ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इज अ कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स। ये दोनों कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस है। सो द एनर्जी स्टोर्ड विल बी q square by 2c और c half cv square q into v by 2। सो जब भी हम सिस्टम को चेंज करना चाहते हैं, कुछ भी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन चेंज करेंगे तो उसकी पोटेंशियल एनर्जी में चेंज आएगा। सो दैट इज एनर्जी स्टोर्ड ड्यू टू कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ऑफ अ सिस्टम, दैट इज आवर पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। आई नो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विजुअलाइज करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट काम है, बिकॉज काइनेटिक एनर्जी सिंपल होता है कि हाँ बॉडी के पास स्पीड है तो वेलोसिटी है तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी इज हाफ mv स्क्वायर। वो विजुअलाइज इसलिए भी कर सकते हैं कि बस बॉल जितनी स्पीड से फेंका हुआ उतनी स्पीड से हिट करेगा, एंड द मोर योर फ्रेंड गेट्स हर्ट, जितनी जितनी जोर से मारा उतनी जोर से हर्ट करेगा। काइनेटिक एनर्जी विजुअलाइज करना इजी है, बट पोटेंशियल एनर्जी को थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम लगता है समझने में। ओके, तो ये तो कैपेसिटेंस था। कैपेसिटेंस किसी भी कंडक्टर के लिए डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, एंड अ डिवाइस जिसमें हम डिवाइस दैट वी कैन यूज टू स्टोर charges like this is called a capacitor. It's called a capacitor. So the example that I gave here was two conductors separated by a small distance. This was a capacitor. See, this is a good way to store energy, because if you store positive energy somewhere else and positive charge somewhere else and negative charge somewhere else, they will try to escape. They will try to escape. But if you keep them close to each other, they will attract each other and they will hold each other in place. Like an example we'll be studying here. So first I'll define capacitor. Capacitor is an arrangement which can store sufficient quantity of charge. Capacitor is an arrangement of conductors which can store charge. Okay. So in this arrangement, we usually keep two conductors, not the bus wala conductor, but conductor here means substances in which the charges can move freely.
Can conduct electricity.
Yeah. So two conductors of any shape which are placed in vicinity of each other, which are close to each other. And they can store equal and opposite charges. So अगर एक conductor पे charge is plus q, then second conductor पे charge will be minus q. So we'll be first studying a special case of capacitor, that will be parallel plate capacitor.